G'day everyone, I hope you are doing well. I'm just going to go for a little walk along the beachfront at Sanur. So I'm just going to check out the hotels, the villas, the restaurants. So I'm going to go up the northern end, so turn left up here at the beach, and I will make another video walking south. So I'll point out some of the hotels. I've got some of the prices, or the current prices. So I'm staying here at Andaz Bali Resort. So this is the newest 5-star resort in Bali, or here in Sanur. This opened a year ago on the 9th of April 2021. There's a nice restaurant out the front called Fisherman's Club. I had a very nice burger and some fish and chips there. It is still very quiet here in Bali, so tourists are returning. There's no quarantine anymore, but not so many tourists. Alright, so I'm going to turn left up here, go up to the northern end, which is probably the busiest part of Sanur, and later I will go down the southern end. There's a few international hotels down there, Intercontinental, there's a Hyatt Regency, there's a Mercure Hotel, there's a Holiday Inn. Now you can see in the distance the very top of Mount Agung. It's mostly covered by clouds. If you get up really early in the morning, so 6 AM, 6:30, usually there's no clouds there, so this time of year, April, but by about 9 o'clock in the morning the clouds cover it and you don't see it for the rest of the day. You can do a day trip to Mount Agung from Sanur. Probably takes about an hour and a half to drive there. There's a beautiful temple called Besakih temple, which is the mother temple, the most important temple here in Bali. Alright, I will walk along here. I will, as I said, check out the hotels. I'll talk about the current prices, and I'll skip through all the boring bits. Directly across there is NUSA LEMBONGAN. So that's a little island. You can get there, you catch a ferry from Sanur. It takes about 30 minutes to get across there. So you could easily do a day trip across there. Go across early morning, come back in the afternoon. But I highly recommend going over there and staying. There's a heap of accommodation, either cheap accommodation you can get for $20 or $30 a night, or there are luxury hotels which are more than $200 a night. At the end of this video I'll show you where the ferries leave from. So it's right at the northern end of Sanur Beach. So you'll see how quiet it is. This is a little cheap accommodation. There is no one in there. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so I guess most people have finished their breakfast. Just here is Maya Resort, or Maya Resort, M-A-Y-A. So you can get rooms here, current price April, 1.6 million rupiah. So it's about 150 Australian dollars for 5-star accommodation. And this place has been busy. So you'll see there's people having coffee here. And just up here is the restaurant. I've walked past here every morning for the last 4 mornings, and usually that restaurant is probably about half full, so good to see some tourists in there. I will skip along this bit because there's not much going on here. So I'll get up closer to the centre of Sanur, and there's a heap of villas and hotels and restaurants. So let me fast forward. I forgot to mention, so across there, NUSA LEMBONGAN, there are actually 3 islands over there. There's NUSA LEMBONGAN, there's NUSA Chenegan, and NUSA Panida. Now, Panida is the place to go to see manta rays and mola mola. You can organise diving in Sanur, and they'll take you across on the boat to NUSA Panida. Or if you stay on NUSA LEMBONGAN, there are dive shops over there that will take you for diving. Now, best time to see the manta rays, you can see them all year round, but the best time to see them is between August and November. Mola mola, best time is between June and October. Here in Sanur, there's actually some really good snorkeling. I don't know if you can see it. There's a reef out there. You'll just see some little peaks of the waves. If you go out there at low tide, you can do some amazing snorkeling. I've seen baby moray eels, I've seen scorpion fish, lots of different types of fish. So a little bit treacherous to get out there. Probably the best part is to go to the northern end of Sanur, and you can actually walk out to the reef at low tide, and then you do your snorkeling there. I've been walking for probably 5 minutes, and you'll see this is sort of the start to the main area of Sanur. So a little marketplace here, little warungs where you can get something to eat or drink. So just after 10 AM, it is now 30 degrees Celsius. So probably get to about 31, 32 degrees. Last night it rained overnight. So while I was sleeping, I woke up in the morning and everything was wet. So the humidity has skyrocketed. Last 4 days there was no rain. Just some rain last night, and the humidity has rocketed from the last few days. Further up from here, I'll probably stop when we get to the turtle conservation area. So I usually stop in there, make a little donation, because they do some excellent work. They're releasing turtles every few months back into the ocean. Nice little villa here. So this is Villa Pantai Karang. So I will look up the prices for that. I'll post up the current prices on the screen below. Alright, place to get coffee and gelato. You'll see I have not walked past many people, so very quiet indeed in Sanur. You'll see the walkway I'm on now. This has been here for a long time, but they've actually built, in the pandemic, they have built this new walkway. So you've got a walkway and a cycleway. So you'll see this new one here. So you can see water from last night's rain. So you now got 2 tracks to go, one over there and one closer to the beach. Another hotel here. So Werdhapura. So I'll check out the prices, post that below. That looks like a huge resort, but I just can't see any tourists. There's a restaurant over there, nobody in there. So most places are open. I've walked along here a few times this week. A couple of places, a little convenience store I used to go to has closed for business. And there was also a beach club, which I'll show you in a few minutes. That was really popular. Go in there for a drink, and they had a swimming pool. That has closed for business. But other than that, most places are open. So they're waiting for you to return to Bali. This is the start of Villa Shanti. This is a budget accommodation. Room prices here start at 360,000 rupiah, so it's about 33 Australian dollars. So there's a swimming pool in there. So there we go. Villa Shanti Beach Front Hotel. Right next door is the Griya Santrian resort. I have stayed here 3 times, probably in the last 10 years. So room prices here start 683,000, so another 3-star hotel, so about 64 Australian dollars. It's good to see a few tourists. There is a really nice swimming pool. I'm going to go in there and show you. It has a swim-up bar, so you can either sit there in the bar, or you can sit in the water, drink your bintangs or your cocktails. The only thing about a swim-up bar, how many lazy people do not get out of the water to go to the toilet. That is Griya Santrian, so 3-star hotel. I highly recommend it. Lovely staff. As I say, that 3, I wouldn't stay there again if I didn't enjoy it. Next door is Besakih Resort. So another 3-star, you're looking at about 589,000 rupiah per night for a room. So about 55 Australian dollars. Nice swimming pool right at the front. So you can take a swim there and straight over to the beach. Now, I had friends stay here, so probably 6 years ago I was staying at Griya Santrian. They were staying here. Besakih rooms are okay. They seemed a little bit dark and a little bit outdated, but for that price, you're talking about $55 a night, not too bad. Selamat pagi, apa kabar? Baik, sama-sama. Not sure what that one is called. There's no name out the front, so I can't look that one up. I don't know why they don't put the name of the hotel out the front. Pagi. Now, I've probably only got a few more minutes walk to like the pretty much central Sanur where the turtle conservation is. I'm just going to point out some things. So you see in the distance, that is Inner Grand Hotel. That was one of the first beach resorts here in Sanur. It's been there since like the 1960s, I think. Just up from there, you probably just see them, the boats in the distance. So they're the boats that go over to NUSA LEMBONGAN. Tell you what, it is getting hot. Only mad dogs and Englishmen, they say. This is the beach club that has closed, so ARTOTEL Beach Club. So this only opened in 2018. It was a cool little club. Had swimming pool here, they had restaurant and bar. I'm not sure if they have accommodation or had accommodation, but obviously it has seen better days. Another casualty of the pandemic. So far everything has been open, but this is the little convenience store I used to come to. Every time I walk past here on my morning walk, I'd go in there and get a bottle of water, some Gatorade. That has closed. A casualty of the pandemic. There is a massive crane, so somebody is developing a new resort. They say fortune favours the brave, so interesting time to be building a new resort, but that looks like it's going to be 4 or 5 stories tall, which I thought was against local Balinese law or culture. You are not supposed to build a building taller than the local coconut trees, so they should only be that tall, not that tall. Interesting. This is the start of Sindhu Beach Markets. So I'm just going to have a quick look in here because I think a lot of places are closed. I'll just have a quick walk in here. There's about 80 or 90 shops in here, and you'll see they sell carvings, sarongs, handbags. As I said, you'll see a lot of places are closed. More over here. So a few places open. Alright, so it goes right down the back there, almost to the main road, but a lot of places are closed. They may come back later, I would say, once tourism picks up. But you don't want to be spending expensive rent when you're not making any income. So there's Sindhu Beach Markets. As you see, there are plenty of options for hotels, villas, restaurants on the beach. The only thing they need now is you to come to Bali. So check out those plane prices. All the airlines are flying here. So Qantas, Jetstar, Virgin, Garuda. Or you can do what I did. I flew via Malaysian Airlines. So I went via KL to get to Bali. Lots of little warungs where you can get food and coffee. So this is the turtle conservation. So this is probably the main area of Sanur. You'll see it keeps on going right up to that inner Grand Hotel and the ferries to go across to NUSA LEMBONGAN. There are also ferries that take you across to NUSA Penida. There's some accommodation on NUSA Penida. Now probably another 10-minute walk to get to the ferry port. You can buy tickets there, or you can buy them at your hotel, or there's plenty of tourist information counters in Sanur. So, Sindhu Dwarawati Turtle Conservation. This is a great place. Selamat pagi. So these are a couple of months old. So you'll see they take baby turtles and they grow them to a decent size and then release them into the ocean. And they also have the larger turtles. Many of these have been injured by boat propellers or they've turned up on the beach sick. They bring them in here. You see some big ones. So they bring them in here, they recuperate them, feed them, give them medicine, and then they will release them into the wild. So excellent work at the Turtle Conservation Centre. So I will make a little donation. I'm going to give them 100,000 this morning. It's about $10. Usually every morning I give them a little donation. Alright, so this is where I'm going to end the video. As I said, I'm going to make some more videos. I'm going to go down the southern end where all the international resorts are. Also the main road. There's actually a section of Sanur that I haven't spent time down the southern end. Check out all the restaurants and the bars down there. So if you're not already subscribed, click on that subscribe button. Click on the like button because that helps promote this video. So thank you everyone for watching and get your ass to Bali.